One family, one people, one planet, one love. One family, one people, one planet, one love. One family.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the light. It is, we were toying with whether or not to turn the shade down. I was like, "Are you kidding? This is the first sunlight we've gotten in Columbus, Ohio. Thank you very much in a long time." So welcome wherever you are joining us from. Let us know where you're tuning in from, either today or if you're tuning in later, you can leave comments on our YouTube channel. And we welcome those opportunities for you to subscribe to our YouTube channel and just let us know who you are, what you're doing, and how you're doing. So welcome into our first full week of 2023. How's everybody doing? Yes. Yay, we're happy to be here. Yeah, me too. We've got a great year planned ahead. We had some wonderful planning meetings. Those of you who are wondering what is happening with SoulCall in 2023, lots of new and exciting things. I'm going to invite you to sign up for the newsletter if you don't already get it. And if you've signed up for the newsletter and you're not getting it, check your spam folders, all that good stuff, because we'll just be letting people know what's happening week after week and where we're going to be, and welcome you into the Conscious Global community. Some really great ideas came out of some of the meetings we had this weekend. And so you're welcome to participate in anything and everything coming along. So we welcome you, and I welcome you into the room. Let everybody know you're here this morning. Yay for coming out and braving the sun. It's been so long, we don't know what'll happen if you get out in the daylight. It's really nice to see you all here. So this morning we're going to start, as we start every SoulCall Sunday, just bringing in more of that light into the light of every one of the trillions of cells. And it's not so much that we have to bring it in from the outside. It's to recognize and create this sacred synergy of light and sound where we become, like this tuning fork of consciousness, where we realize that's what we are. Today's topic is who is alive? Who is alive? And it's taken from a lyric from Rumi. Good morning out there in California. I think you're finally getting the rain, aren't you, Joy? Who is alive? And it's a song that we put to music of the poetry of Rumi. It's called On the Way of Love. And the question becomes, who is alive? We're all alive, but are we living? Are we conscious of the life we've been given and how things work and how we co-create with this light, energy, synergy at all times? So it's ours for the experiencing, if we can remember that step by step, thought by thought, every thought, every pearl on the string of, thought can be a recognition, a realization, an awakening to the truth of who we are, born from love with the mother of the universe as our one divine beloved. So in co-creating that sacred synergy, we're going to invite Sifu Helen Yi. Getting lighter and lighter. I'm dissolving. See? All right. Who's going to take us and lead us into a practice of Qigong? Morning, everyone. Welcome.
Hey, good morning. Music just right. Wow, it is bright up here.
Right. I just can't see you. But.
Well, it's so nice to see everyone here. And I want to get into a Qigong practice this morning that helps us get into more of our connection within, because Qigong is a really good modality to also have as a prevention of illnesses and imbalances. So it's the reason why the traditional Chinese medicine, such as acupuncture and other Eastern cultures, embrace, and also it is also a requirement within learning this type of modality. So I want you to go ahead and just close your eyes, bring your awareness, your focus within your body. Feel that intrinsic energy that is moving throughout all the different meridian pathways into the different organs, in the systems of the body. Allow yourself to connect to that energy called chi. And slightly open your eyes if you wish. And go ahead and bend your wrist slightly, giving a little bit of energy within the arms and the palms where the Lao Gong points are located. Allow that connection of the yin energy within the earth, drawing it into the Lao Gong, penetrating into the body. Feel it absorbing like a magnet. And from here, go ahead and float the arms up, feeling the sensation of the energetic chi within the universe coming between the arms, between the hands, gathering it and collecting it, and now pointing it and directing it into the Bai Wei, just near the crown chakra. Feel it beaming in all the different golden particles of chi. And now relaxing the elbows, guiding the chi into the Bai Wei, into the central meridian channel pathway. Feel it absorbing into the trillions of cells, nourishing the different organs. Feel it bathing all of the different organs and systems, pushing out any blockages and any stagnations of chi. Coming down into the earth. Now guiding the chi parallel to your body, gathering the golden particles. Feel it getting more and more concentrated within the arms, between the hands. Feel that glow, bringing it into the body, allowing it to nourish and increasing the vibration and the vitality within your system, storing it into the lower dantian. And from here, separating the hands, relaxing the shoulders, taking a deep breath in, appreciating the breath, which connects us to the life force energy. Taking another deep breath, and relax. Carry this feeling with you throughout the day. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Helen. It is kind of light, huh? You can't really see me. Coming out of... So, don't worry, there'll be a cloud pretty soon. But right now, we're going to take this floaty feeling, this awakened bliss, this gentle calm into meditation. So I invite you to get relaxed in your seat if you have a meditation posture which serves you well. Please feel free to get yourself into that position at this moment. If you need to stand on your head, there's lots of wall space. But just feeling your feet on the floor, maybe the palms turned upward at the juncture of thighs and abdomen. Just lifting your eyes gently to the spiritual eye, that point between the eyebrows, and following the breath as we allow ourselves to breathe in light. Exhale peace. Breathe in light. It transforms into peace. So we become this conduit, this creator of peace itself. And then as we exhale, we inhale light as peace. Just creates this, again, this sacred synergy of what these bodies, these beautiful bodies, are capable of during our incarnation on planet Earth. We are not limited in any way. There's just a particular way we can play in form, and that's our unique expression, our soul's calling, and it could be something a little slightly different every day. But one purpose is to maintain that peace and that calm and the joy, recognizing that cold and heat, pleasure and pain, all are the dance of the divine drama, the dualistic nature of being incarnate. Nothing has come to harm us, just to allow us to feel alive in the expression. So as we meditate, bringing that light in and surrendering to the consciousness beyond our thoughts, just beyond our thoughts. Rub that thought away, and the whole universe is right here, right now. As we fall into this beautiful song called Spiraling, just allow yourself to feel it in yourselves.
I hold the heart that beats eternal. 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 I hold the heart that beats eternal.
Oh, infinite divine beloved, as we open to the heart that beats eternal, fill us to overflowing with divine wisdom, the nectar of bliss, the wisdom of the universal spheres, the compassion of a great sage. May we endure with patience all that we do not quite understand, and recognize there is never a place where you are not. We are never alone. Opening to the joy and the bliss of this new year as we step more fully into various ways to simplify, amplify the love. Om Shanti, peace, and so be it. Just bringing your attention back into the room. Maybe a little tap of your feet, a little wiggle in the chair. You know, we're going to, if you are into that beautiful meditations, we do meditations on Wednesday nights. We're starting them up again. Wednesdays from 7 to 8 online. Hi, Michelle. I know you're around here somewhere. Are you locked out of the building? No. Hi, Chelsea from Korea. So glad you're joining us. And just on Wednesdays, we're going to have meditations again. You can join us from home. You can Zoom right in from your home from 7 to 8. We skipped the last couple through the holidays, but every third Wednesday, we do kirtan chanting and meditation out at the Dempsey Event Center in Delaware. So more information about that. And didn't that just feel good?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just that. And part of what we're going to talk about today and just explore a little bit is that wisdom of the soul. Who is alive? Who is alive? Rumi said, so who is alive? The one whose soul is born from love, whose soul is born from love. And that's all of us. Everyone's soul is born from love. So who is alive? We're going to hear a song after this talk today about on the way of love. Rumi says, you must be very alive. The lifeless heart has nothing to sing. You must be very alive. So there's this heart-soul connection, right? Heart and soul, heart and soul. There are songs written about it. This confluence, knocking on the door of the heart, going through the door of the heart. Door of my heart, open wide I keep for thee is a wonderful chant by Paramahansa Yogananda. Open wide my heart is what I like, things a wonderful chant from Elisa Nenica special. But they just give you, they were written from the place you get to when you go through the door of your heart. And written from that place and bringing it through to this place, there's this, sacred, invisible thread that doesn't change anything in terms of, it doesn't alter it in any way. So whether we're here, and I put that in air quotes because what's that mean? Or there, what's that mean? There is no here or there. There's only now, here and now. And the more fully present we can be anchored in that heart and through the door of the heart, we could start to see, as Helen, with this chi, we're bringing it in, but it's already in there.
Yeah.
We're bringing more of it in. And then before you know it, you are a walking ball of chi, but the vibration with which you resonate with others just keeps getting pitched higher and higher and higher. Doesn't that sound lovely?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So who's alive? It sounds wonderful, but there's something about that though. When you walk into a situation where there might be, and I don't mean higher, better, I don't mean it like that, but I just mean vibrations of different levels. Do you ever start working on your spiritual path and you start to become feeling better and better and you feel peaceful and joy, and then you walk into a situation that hasn't changed that much. Maybe it's the work environment, maybe it's the family environment, maybe it's and all of a sudden you become so bright that you are the target. It's your fault that all these things are changing. It's you, it's you, it's you, it's you. Maybe it is you, but then what do we do with that information, right? How do we transform that kind of energy? It's like, I'm looking at Helen, because you kind of be like the Tai Chi master of energy. You got to take that energy, transform it, and redirect it. Or in a more subtle version, children learn, I'm like rubber and you're like glue. Remember that? Everything you say bounces off of me and sticks to you. Yeah, and then you run back in the house before your brother can catch you. And so we start to understand the wisdom of words and how words have as much power as actions sometimes, right? It's all energy. It's all energy. But how much do we take? How do we form a healthy boundary without closing our heart? That's the trick. How many of you experienced something that was so broke you open to a defenseless state where you got to the realization, I never want to close my heart again? That's the hardest shattering I've ever had to deal with. What a blessing. What a painful blessing. I'm looking at Linda because I think she's feeling what I'm feeling on the inside. It's like, yeah, there is a way that we don't have to navigate those waters anymore. If we can navigate, nothing's going to hurt like that. It could be disappointing. It could be upsetting. You know, I don't know about you, but at the end of a year, I usually sit. I make a practice of recapping like a chapter in a book. Highlights, lowlights, you know, what I enjoyed a whole lot and would like, yes, please, what I don't think I need to experience again. And then I look at like best movie, maybe best meal, favorite new song, favorite whatever. I just kind of, what came through this year that kind of sparked me, that I resonate with and found joy in. And this year was an interesting thing. At the end of it all, I had this recollection that I am more at home at this moment in time, not forever, but quite candidly, I'm just going to pour my heart out to you. I am more comfortable when my eyes are closed right now, going in. Have you had that feeling? Some of you are nodding. It's not going to be forever, but right now there's something in the zone of the world and its vibrations aren't what my senses can perceive is not where my consciousness is right now. So I need to just put that on pause for a minute. Pause and go within, and go within, and go within. So the theme this whole year is mostly going to be about going within, simplicity, simplify. Getting back to, the distillation process, if you will, of life and consciousness. What works? What is delicious? What's happening? So are you with me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And we'll each do it differently is the thing. So there's not going to be some vacuum where did all the spiritual people go? We're not all going to do it the same way. This is for me. I'm not suggesting it has to be for you. What I'm suggesting is in your simplify process, your process of simplifying your lives, what brings you peace, lasting peace, that no matter where you are placed, you can still feel peaceful. And if not, is it a workable situation? And if not, then what? Go back to your heart. Go back to your heart. So I've got a whole bunch of quotes here from Rumi, because I love Rumi, and the song is all about love. And who the better, like the master Sufi, whose religion is nothing but love. That's all Sufis think about. But they don't really think about it. They experience it. Rumi's the one who said, between our hearts, there's a shutter we can open. But what is there to open when no walls remain? Nothing. So we have this courage, which means with heart, the courage of our conviction to keep our heart open no matter what. That's tough. You ever try that? Try it for a day. But also watch how it transforms things. Not so much in the outer world, but in the inner world. And once you realize it's not going to kill you, it doesn't even make you stronger. It makes you more supple. We have this idea of, there's this inner strength that allows us to keep that heart open. Let's use all of our strength. Like we have little hands around our heart, just like, no, they're trying to close it. No, keep it open. There's something in it for you. There's something in it for me, for sure. So that's the trick. So who is alive? Everybody in this room is totally aware that we're all going to die someday, right? Not like we're all going to die. I don't mean it like that. I just mean once we can get with the idea and the realization fully that we're not always going to be in this current form. We can get busier in the process of living if we live like that. So who is alive? And the reason I bring this edge of like life and death into it is sometimes you've never felt more alive than when you've experienced a near-death situation. Have you ever had that happen to you? I mean, the one that comes to mind right at this moment is I used to love to downhill ski. Haven't done it in a long time. But the first time we went to Killington, Vermont, there was in the gift store, they had all of these little, with the emphasis on killing. I almost died there, but I didn't. Obviously, here I am. You go into the gift shop when you get there and you're getting what you need. Like maybe you needed that stuff you'd spray on your goggles so they don't steam up. And this was back in the day. I don't know if do they make things now that don't steam up no matter what? I don't think so. Somebody get on that. We go on Shark Tank, make a bunch of money. But you're in there getting these things, and there's always that rack at the checkout with all of the pins that you can put on your jacket, right? And they had one of those black diamond pins. Who are the skiers in here? You know what a black diamond pin is? Yeah. It's like, that means you've gone down the black diamond slope, which is the highest, the hardest, the most difficult. Moguls at the top generally, and all that kind of stuff. And so I was like, right next to that was another pin with somebody sitting who had just massive wipeout. Their stuff's all disheveled, and it says, "Oh, SHIT." There was a pin that had that too. And I was like, I'm going to have the black diamond pin before we leave the weekend. And so we're skiing and everything's great. And so finally that day comes that we go to the black diamond slope, and went down the first time. It was fine. But if you're skiing on the moguls at the top, you've got to get in sync with that, just like in life, because there's bumps and spaces and bumps. And if you hit one of them wrong, as I did, I am here to tell you, everything can happen. Well, I hit it wrong, bounced off, and it was a narrow slope, because if you're on that, you should know what the heck you're doing. But I bounced it and missed it badly. Went head first, my poles went flying, and my gloves were off. I mean, I realized this after I stopped, what was left of me. But I just remember careening towards a tree head first. That's like, you didn't want to do the Sonny Bono, no offense, that sounds really awful, but that's what could happen to you. So with all my might, I never felt so alive, so present, so aware, so peaked on the edge of life and death. It was a drama in real life. But everything in me, that survival mode, right, kicks in. And I was able to tuck my legs and turn my skis and dig them for dear life. Like bounced off the tree with my skis and stopped. And I sat there for a minute. Did you ever have anything like that? Maybe somebody pulls out in front of you, or think of the thing. It's the same experience. It's just a different story. What happens? What do you feel in that moment? Fear.
Fear and presence.
Presence. How does it physically manifest? Are you tense? Is your heart pounding? Right? I felt my heart pounding in my chest. I could hear it in my ears. I was looking around. I could still see. And the next thing I saw was a gentleman come up with one of my poles, and he had my hat on the other end of the other one. And he goes, "I thought you were a goner."
Wow.
I was like, yeah, me too. So I skied down the rest of the slope and took my ski. I was done for the day. It was just too much. That was like, what the heck? And it was fortunately the end of the day, so it wasn't first thing in the morning. But I thought about that this morning, like, who is alive? Because sometimes when we say who's alive, we think of, I feel very alive when I'm singing. I feel very alive right now. When I'm with, friends just hanging out, when I'm meditating, I feel very alive. But it's not always associated with a positive experience that we would like to repeat often, right? So then, doesn't that make you ask the question, so then who is alive? What is life? What does it mean to be alive? What if it's all of it? I think on the spiritual path, sometimes we get an idea that once I hit that plateau, once I get to this, easy street for the rest of my life. Nothing challenging is going to come in. We're laughing because, nope. So it doesn't mean that just because something challenging comes in, it doesn't mean that your meditation's not working. It doesn't mean that the spiritual practice, the journaling, the drum circling, that it doesn't mean that those things aren't working. It just means you're alive. Welcome to planet Earth. But what shifts is not out here, it's our response to that incoming. Do we lose our peace? Do we lose our minds? Do we lose our sense of purpose? Do we get caught up in it? That's where the spiritual practice comes in. Not that these things, aren't going to happen anymore. They will occur on a somewhat regular basis. Some of the things I would venture to say, some of the things that you used to get caught up in are still happening all around you all the time. You don't even notice them anymore because you're not there anymore. Your practice is working. And someone else will say, can you believe? I'm like, oh my God, I never even noticed that. And mean it, right? So it's this constant evolution. By the way, I did go into the gift store before I left, and I got the black diamond and I got the, oh crap, pin too. Boom, and I put them, I had both of those experiences that day, and I wore them proudly. And the funniest part is, the one that I got the most questions about, like later when I came back and we were just, around where I lived, how did you get that pin? The one where I fell in. Oh, that's the story. Not, oh, I nailed those moguls. Yeah, of course. But we want to know, how did you survive when you didn't? That's the story everybody wanted to hear. That's the more interesting story. Not like if I just stood here and told you how great the first run was, who cares? Tell me about the time you like wiped out and almost died. I really want to hear that. What happened? Well, why is that? It's just an interesting, it's a story. Like if I survived, you could survive. And we want to know how people don't die. We're all going to go out in different ways. But that's not the point. It's how do you live? How did you stay in the game? How do you keep yourself fully alive? And that's mostly what we're going to dive into this whole year. One of the parts is who is alive? Simplify. It shouldn't be too complex. How many of you really get into cooking? Okay. When you were learning how to cook, if you saw a recipe with more than X number of ingredients, I don't know, it's different for everybody. Just be like, oh, I'll try this one. But the more you practice, if it's too complicated, maybe you don't want to start there, or you at least want to try it once before you are going to make it for guests for dinner, right? So simplify. Sometimes it's those simple ingredients, making homemade bread, boom, 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 3 ingredients, mix it all up and you can pop it in the oven. There's nothing to it. And it tastes really good. That's why we're not supposed to eat too much of it, because it's really good. Just simplify. The simple recipes sometimes are, I don't want to say they're the best, but sometimes they're the most rewarding. It's just these 3 simple things go together so well. What is the Trinity in cooking? What do they call it?
Celery, carrots, and onion. No, celery,
garlic and onion, celery, carrots and onion. The Trinity, right?
celery, carrots, and onion.
Yeah, it's just this simple thing. You put those together.
Yeah.
Anything else you put in there is going to taste good. Even styrofoam. It'll just taste really good. If you start with simple, simple, simple. So if life seems to be a little complex or distorted, or like, I don't even know where I went wrong with that one, check your ingredients. Like the greatest chefs, you watch them on the Cooking Network, they lay out all the ingredients first. They make sure they have everything. They read, make sure they go to the store if they need to, or go to their garden and pull out the necessary herbs, spices, whatever you've got growing there for yourself. But you make sure you have all of those things. And if it doesn't taste right, examine your ingredients. So if life doesn't seem to make you feel alive right now, examine the ingredients you're putting into the mixing bowl of your consciousness every day. What are you willing to digest that just really doesn't taste very good? And dump it out. Dump it out and start all over again. Or start with a simple, simple recipe and then add to it, to your taste. My favorite recipes are the ones that say, add salt to taste. They don't tell you how much, because we all have limits on this kind of stuff. And sometimes, I don't know about you, different days, we might have different limits depending on what else is going on in the bowl, right? It might not need this much compared to that. Or do you ever just make something that just didn't taste right at all, and you've got to add more of this or more, or like broth to dilute it? I did that just the other day. I was making sauerkraut, and I've got two. I love sauerkraut, but I always put a little bit of cinnamon in just to kind of just make it not as biting sometimes. And, you know, I've got some spices that are twist off, but then the lid has the holes. This one didn't. It was like you pop the top, and I didn't look, and there were no holes. It was just like, poof. Like, oh, you know. So carefully look at what you're doing before you do it. Don't assume that it's all the same. Not all cinnamon lids are the same. Not all people are the same. Not all saints are the same. Not all singers are the same. Not all people who profess to be are the same. It's for us to keep track of our consciousness and how we participate with what is. So even if you've seen it 1,000 times, here comes 1,001. Be alive, awake and ready, Paramahansa would say when he would greet his students, the chelas in India, and he would say, "How are you this morning?" And I used to greet my choirs like this, and they have them say sometimes, "Awake and ready." Awake and ready. It recharges your cells. When you say it and allow the trillions of cells, as if you have a trillion little mouths all saying, "Awake and ready." It sounds like a stadium full of people, right? So you're a little walking community. You're your own situation, if you can realize that. And with so much power, so much force to create, recreate, mix, match, dissolve, start over. We can do it at any time. But to be alive. So Rumi would say, "I closed my mouth and spoke to you in 100 silent ways." And this is another thing, like with between, you know, worlds and vibrations. Rumi's love for and bereavement at the death of Shams. There was this great relationship between Rumi and Shams. And when Shams died, they found their true expression in his lyrical poems. And one of the things he said was, "I myself went out searching for Shams and journeyed again to Damascus. There I realized, why should I seek? I am the same as he. His essence speaks through me. I have been looking for myself." Sometimes what we're seeking in the world is not just seeking you. We're looking for ourselves in a place that is not where we reside. It's not out here. It's what we bring forth from the place we reside in our hearts. And we bring it forth. If you don't see what resonates with you in the world, go all the way in and get clear like a magnet. Magnetize your consciousness, the wish, the will, the want, whatever. You know, when wants become wills, you'll see them a lot faster. But charge that thought, and then you'll see it in the world. But you've got to come back to finding yourself. Let yourself be silently drawn by the strange pull of what you really love. It will not lead you astray. Simplify. What do you love? What do you really love? Really, really, like that. There was that little meme that was going around with some little dog, but he just kept saying, really, 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 really. What do you really, really love? What do you love? Simplify. Who's alive? The one who realizes their soul is born from love. What do you love? That'll come through the lens of your heart. I was reading something the other day. It was saying, it was Yogananda. It was saying, if you put a blue lens over everything you see will be blue. What do you want to see? Put a love lens over everything and look for it. You'll find it in everything, whether it's something you resonate with and want to be in with or not. Even people who love to hate, they just love to hate. Haters gonna hate, right? I'm not saying you don't resonate with that. You could send love, you could just be the love. It's not that you have to be okay with it or accept it, or it's part of the world. You can't look around and say it's not part of the world, can you? And really see what's happening? No. Look for the love, but find it from yourself first. There's one or two quotes I really want to share. We are in the song, "Who is alive? The one whose soul is born from love." Whose soul is born from love. And so Rumi says, we are born of love. Love is our mother. No matter who you came through, we are all born from love. And love is the true mother. Love the father behind the father, mother behind the mother, friend behind the friend, one friend. No matter how many times you're here, that's God. Whatever you call it, goddess, infinite source, divine intelligence, whatever you call it, it knows who you're talking to, what you're talking to. It's got it. And then you are the soul of the universe, the root of the root. You are the soul of the universe. And your name is love. Hello, love. Right? You can look at yourself every morning and just say that. Hello, love. I am an immortal. Remember that from last week? I am an immortal. Hello, love. And then go about your day. What a shift. Rather than, I really need to tweeze my eyebrow again, or like whatever we're doing. And that's okay too. But I'm just saying, if the first thing you say is everything else will just start to shift, you'll create a new circuitry of literal sound, and the vibration of your thoughts will change. If every day the first thing your mind hears is that, sends a whole different message, and a whole unique circuitry will be built around the thought of, I am an immortal from last week. And this week's is, hello, love. You were born from love. That's who you are. So I'm going to take us through a quick exercise. Now, Rumi says, knock at the door of your own heart. Knock at the door of your own heart. Rumi. And so if you sit with closed eyes, which we will after this song, we'll go into another meditation. And actually, when I teach meditation classes, I teach of consciously opening chakras. And if you sit with your energy focused on your heart, put all of your consciousness there, and with your mind's intention, knock at the door of your heart. And it'll open the portal to your soul. The love of who you are, which is uniquely your expression as the soul of the universe. So simplicity, who is alive? You are alive. Who day? We day. Who is alive? We are alive. I am an immortal, which was last week. Simplicity. Simplify. And this week, the simple message, who are you? How are you going to greet yourself in the morning?
Hello, love.
Hello, love. So please enjoy this song, On the Way of Love, from
On the way of love, you must be very alive. Lifeless heart has nothing to sing. You must be very alive. So who's alive? The one whose soul is born from love, whose soul is born from love. Thunder will rumble from out of the heart. From the body the soul will flash. Lightning strikes from a tumbling cloud. The whole meadow greets the storm of spring. So who's alive? The one whose soul is born from love, whose soul is born from love, of love. In love, search in us search for this, in love search for us, in us search for this, in love search for us, in us search for this, in love search for us, in us search for this, in love search for us, in us search for this.
Thank you. Somebody turn the light back on, please. Thank you very much. In love, search for us. In us, search for this. You just like walk around. In love, search for us. That's in everything. In us, search for this. It's that thing turning in on itself. You can't really, it's a 4-dimensional geometrical thing. You can't really write, but you can experience it. Yeah? In love, search for us, in us, search for this. So let's just take that into a beautiful meditation and a prayer. Oh, infinite divine beloved, we remember that we are immortal. And we greet ourselves each morning of the month, if not the year, with hello, love. In love, search for us. In us, search for this. We knock and we know that it is opened. Open wide the door of our hearts, which alone leads to thy blessed presence. May we be mental sunshine for all who cross our path, starting with ourselves. We cross our path first in the morning. May we greet the day being fully alive, ready and awake, and willing to participate fully with a wide open heart. Help us daily to practice the presence. Strengthen our resolve to follow the lead of love, though its ways are steep, could be dangerous, like Khalil Gibran says. We allow and we surrender to the greater knowing, which is beyond mental thought, beyond all understanding, and reside in the peace and the bliss of the soul of the universe. I am love. I am light. I am grateful for this opportunity to be alive. Who is alive? We are alive. We are most alive when we are in the realization, vibrating to the sacred, perfect pitch of divine love. Mother Teresa said, I am a pencil in the hand of God, writing a love letter to the world. May I remember to dot my I's and cross my T's, always making sure I don't lose my peace. Holding on only to the cloak of love, this beautiful human form. Bless us with health, wisdom, ever youthful spirit, and the sacred glow of peace, divine love. Om Shanti, peace, and so be it. We thank you for joining us this morning for SoulCall Sunday. And if you're not signed up for the newsletter, we invite you to do that. There's so many wonderful things coming. We're going to be having we'll have a schedule of events in the newsletter probably next week, not this one, but the next one, of things that are going to be happening, sacred happenings for the year. So you can fill in your calendar, and we expect to see you at all of them. So fly in. You can reach us by railway, trailway, balloon. Just get here if you can. It's always going to be, it'll be filled with joy. I can promise you that. And let's see, what else? So this Tuesday, if you haven't already registered for Christy Hardwick's class, Radical Self-Tenderness, it starts Tuesday evening, and you can get more information and sign up, not too late, on the website, soulcallglobal.org, Radical Self-Tenderness. Next week in the newsletter, we're going to launch the sign up for a class I'll be teaching. It'll be an 8-week class using the book by Andrew Harvey. It's called The Essential Mystics. And it's going to be an immersion into the mystical traditions and wisdom from many, many, many faith traditions, including our own. That's the trick. It's like, what grabs you? What makes you feel alive today? You are a mystic, you are love, and it's just going to help us clear the decks from whatever is precluding you from seeing that in the mirror every time you look in. You are the essential mystic we need right now. So we're waking up really fast. So join me for that class. It's going to be great. It's going to be Tuesday nights also starting in February. I think every third Wednesday is Kirtan Wednesday out at the Dempsey Event Center, meditation and sacred chanting. It is how many of you been there? You loving it? How about some enthusiasm?
Yes.
I can't see. Yeah, just see like, they're just like, you can't see all the hands, but but yeah, just going, and it's that deep dive. And then we're going to start this Wednesday, 7:00 on every Wednesday. We'll be doing a silent meditation on Zoom until we do it in person all the time. But the third Wednesday of every month is Kirtan Wednesday, and it's live at the Dempsey Event Center, 123 Heights Road. More information on the website, soulcallglobal.org. I want to thank everyone for your contributions. As a 501c3, we have some really great opportunities to serve our community in the ways that SoulCall Global, our conscious global community, has been designated to do so, dedicated to do so. So look for more food drives coming at the end of February, and also getting back into foster care situations, helping children with creativity, helping them to express themselves, not helping them, just allowing them, giving them what they need to stimulate creativity. So no contribution is too big or too small. If you find yourself at the end of the year and you got to get rid of a whole pile of money, I guess we can help you with that. No, just drop us a line. I'd be happy to talk with you, and you can put you in touch with the CPAs to help you figure out how to streamline that to us. And I mean that with all my heart. So, and I thank you for those of you who have already done that. Thank you very much. So Helen Yee is going to have a class coming up. So check the newsletter for that. People have been asking for more Qigong, more Qigong. So we heard that. She's going to give me a couple of dates. And I think we're going to do maybe a 3-hour intensive out at the Dempsey sometime too. She's saying yes. I did just make that up. So I think that's it for now. And I just want to say, wherever you are on the planet, be who you are, be alive, and always remember, ready to want to say it with me? You are loved. Peace and blessings. Thank you.
One family, one people, one planet, one love, one family.